Hi, this is producer Mel's mom, Jan, a Crystal Palace supporter, who doesn't quite understand why Mel spends so much time with this show instead of me. And you are listening to the DU Football Show.
Because her team was busy relegating Watford this weekend.
Yes, a little Wilfred's Pen special to send you down without a whimper.
Yeah, we went to the horse race. Newsflash, Jan didn't win any money. I did.
There you go.
Well, let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the Drunken United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me is the Richard Gere, because he's so vain of hairstyles, Mr. Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing very well, and I'm not vain at all, so I'm not dying it.
See,
Okay.
you see what I did there, Mel, with the, used from a conversation and found a place to throw the insult. That was pretty fucking genius.
I don't find it to be an insult.
Speaking of vanity, how you doing, Houston?
Oh, I'm a pretty man. What can I say? I love me some me. Right at the top of the food chain. Me, then me. We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Absolutely. It is at DU Football Show on all of the social medias and dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Excellent. There. I was going to say real quick, Mr. Graham, also lovely pro Arsenal agenda shirt. Where do you find that?
Very easy. It's actually go to any of the social medias. Again, that's at DU Football Show. And in all of our bios, you'll see a T-Tree link. That is it TeePublic? What is it?
I don't know.
It's
I think it's
TeePublic.
Teespring, TeePublic.
Something like that.
It's T something. Follow the link.
TEE, that is, by the way. T-shirt. It is
The DU Drip Shack is the
Drip Shack,
most important thing to you.
That's it.
And by the way, we're getting into summertime. That means sun's out, guns out. You can
That's
get
right.
yourself some tank tops going on.
The hashtag Bants tank top is going to make an appearance here soon.
Ooh, very good.
Yes,
you can get
please.
yourself a I'm a seagull, go fuck yourself. Moment of silence for the Dutch tulip. You got Burnley'd, even though Burnley got Burnley'd. Well, actually, Watford got Burnley'd 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Once by Palace and once by Burnley.
Pretty much. Also, yeah, and just a great way to support the show. You get yourself some cool swag, and all of the money that we make does go back into the show.
Yep, every penny.
We've upgraded headphones. We've upgraded the board. We've upgraded the iPad. We've upgraded all sorts of stuff over the few years we've been doing this, and it's all thanks and down to the support on the Patreon at patreon.com and the DU Drip Shack.
I argue
Excellent.
you've upgraded your whiskeys.
That's true. Yes.
Yes, we do. Speaking of, Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Great assist, producer Mel. Mr. Graham, we come to the grand finale, the end of the list. Take her away.
It is the #1 whiskey of the year. This is your Lagavulin 11-year-old Offerman Edition Guinness Cask Finish. This is what Whiskey Advocate rated the #1 whiskey of the year. It is 46% by volume. That would give you a proof of 92 if you're keeping track at home. $80 a bottle. We actually found it for about that.
Yep.
Which was pretty good.
Russ found this for us, in fact.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
It is an Isla single malt, of course. And the panel rating was 95.
I see it. The most I've seen it is about $100. I haven't seen anybody really
Gouge
take
on
too
this
much
one.
of a gouge. Well, because it's readily available.
There was a ton of it, yeah.
This is a #1 you could go out and find right now. It's on shelves.
Yes, sure is. By the way, before I read the blurb, which came to you from David Fleming on this whiskey, I do want to say to Mel, you were supposed to be on my side, and I didn't like what happened there, okay? Kind of felt like I was being cheated on.
Oh, that she gave me the pass off for me to do the perfect segue into the next bit? Yeah. It was pretty great.
Well, that's what happens after 15 years of marriage.
That's true.
Yep.
Raise a glass to that quickly.
Cheers.
Happy anniversary, y'all.
That was last Thursday. Do appreciate it. Thank you.
My mom wants to say happy chair-iversary.
Yeah, 15 years hasn't
Chair-iversary. What's that?
Of you cleaning up the chairs at our wedding drunk.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, man. If you are a member of Drunkard United FC, our closed group.
Here is a reason to join the closed group.
There is single-handedly,
On Facebook, that is.
single-handedly one of the greatest pictures I've ever seen in my life. My wife put it up on our anniversary, and I saw this picture of Mr. Graham as a younger man. Looked like he was on the horse. He was that thin. And he's doing his best Color Me Bad impersonation with the chin strap and the very tight hair and the dark suit with the kind of grayish colored shirt.
I believe it was gold. Thank you very much.
With the tie, looking off in the distance, holding a glass and a glass of beer and a cigarette in his hand with his leg up. I could literally hear ooh, 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 ooh in the background as I'm looking at that picture.
Please take it off the screen. I might get canceled because I'm about to pull my dick out. Okay. About to have a wank just looking at that pillar of sexuality.
Graham, this was at midnight. I'm in bed with the wife. I audibly laugh loudly when I saw that picture. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. It's the greatest thing ever.
I believe I said to him, baby, I got a couple anniversary presents. First, I finally uploaded some pictures from our wedding, and 2, here's a photo of Sam Graham.
It's delightful.
I just put it up in the group and said, you're welcome. Here you go. You're welcome.
Although I think the first person I sent the picture was to your wife.
Yeah, and then I commented on that picture. You're welcome. Okay.
All right. We are not talking about the number one whiskey enough. What do you think, Sammy?
Listen, the number one whiskey got me to that position, okay?
I heard. Very good.
All right, so here's the blurb. As I said, brought to you by David Fleming of the Whiskey Advocate. Inspired by actor and comedian Nick Offerman's devotion to Lagavulin single malt Scotch, Isla Distillery Lagavulin. All right. I would have written this differently, but that's just me. Debuted its first Offerman edition in 2019. A second Offerman release appeared in the spring of 2021, an 11-year-old like the first, but with 4 months of finishing in Guinness casks. Amid a crowded field of ultra-aged barrel-proof and many other formidable contenders, this stout cask finish expression emerged from the pack to become our 2021 whiskey of the year. While the 16-year-old Lagavulin is generally considered the classic of the range, and it is, and it's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Lagavulin 16 is my favorite Isla Scotch, period.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's awesome. Many Lagavulin fans prefer the younger expressions. The Lagavulin 12, for example, has made frequent appearances in the Diageo Special Releases annual series, and the 2017 version landed at number 4 in our top 20. But could an even younger expression, and one with a simple beer cask finish to boot, possibly compare to the stately sherry depth of the oldest Lagavulins on the shelf? The answer was a resounding yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way the last part was written. At first whiff, it's Lagavulin all right, but somehow brighter and more playful. Ooh. The peat smoke and maritime salinity become wrapped in a freshness of fragrant citrus, that's hard to say, melding with honeyed vanilla and white chocolate. On the palate, a subtle backdrop of peat embers harmoniously with flavors of toffee and baked orange, leading to a nimbly smoked finish that sings with notes of coffee and chocolate and just goes on and on. The finish truly became the clincher for our tasters. It showed that while this whiskey charts its own lively course, it is anything but straightforward and loses none of Lagavulin's famed depth and complexity. While peated Scotch devotees are among the most loyal whiskey fans in the world, we recognize that peat is not always for everyone. Yet with its artfully cheerful style and abundance of captivating flavors, we believe this whiskey bridges that divide.
Excellent. So the little inside, of course, Nick Offerman's face is on the front of it, and where this became famous was from Parks and Rec. His character only drank Lagavulin, only ate steak. Breakfast was always like 16 pieces of bacon and 6 eggs, and that was it. And he made everything with his hands. Well, in here on the very inside, there's Nick working on a barrel with another gentleman, happens to be a picture of his father. And it says, "If I succeed, it's because I aspire to be half the worker my dad is, Nick Offerman."
Oh, there you go.
The younger expressions of Lagavulin, namely, as we know, the 12-year that came out after the after the famous 16, which I agree with you, is also my personal favorite. Isla,
100%. Nailed on with a fucking bullet.
It's the original, and it's the best. I think it's better than the Lafroig's. Lafroig 10 being the kind of the major heavy hitter. The Bowman 12, things of that. The ones that have always been around forever. This one, the younger expression, that 12-year, is very iodine-y, very peat, very campfire. So I was a little concerned with it being at 11 years if it could handle, if it was going to be too peaty, right? Because there's something the 16 just mellows it right.
Oh, yeah.
Makes it just perfect.
It's perfectly balanced.
This is all the good things about
the 16.
An Isla whiskey. It's got the right parts of the peat and none of the Band-Aid. It's got all the smoke, none of the medicinal.
I get a nice little kind of roasted, like, chestnut up front kind of flavor. The chocolate is pronounced for me.
Oh, that's the Guinness all the way.
Yeah,
But
big time.
Absolutely.
It's delightful. This is excellent. And there's almost a creaminess that you don't typically get from Isla Scotches that in terms of mouthfeel, that I think is there. And that I think is 100% to do with Guinness casks.
Ton of salinity as well.
Oh,
that
yeah,
little bit of saltiness to it as well. That's really lovely. It is absolutely deserving of number one. That's an exceptional whiskey.
Of this list that we've done this year, I would tend to agree this is nailed on the best whiskey we've had.
Yeah, last week's was real fuck good.
Yeah.
That Master Keep was real
the
good.
wild turkey one. Yep, that was excellent. But this takes it from me. I'm Scotch through and through.
Yeah.
As my first love in whiskey was Scotch.
Yeah.
And Lagavulin 16, Lafroig 10, they're right there for me, right?
Yeah.
In terms of some of the better Scotch I've ever had. Probably, I'd say my favorite Scotch, now it's too expensive to drink every day, was probably Balvenie 14-year-old. Because you get that nice little rum sweetness up front because of the Caribbean cast barrels that they use to finish in. That's probably was my nailed-on favorite. For the Isla style, it would have to be Lagavulin 16. And like I said, like you said, we said, you get all of the goodness and mellowness of a Lagavulin 16 with all my favorite bits of Guinness, which I have the harp tattooed on my leg. I love Guinness. Guinness is my favorite beer.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Back in the day, if I didn't have money, it was Miller Lite.
Yeah.
If I had a good day at the restaurant, when we hit another restaurant after work, I'd be buying Guinness.
Yep, exactly.
That's how it went.
This was fun. We actually got to do all 20. We got to do all 20 in order because we got them right away. Like this is the other years that
was
we've
a hectic 2 weeks.
Yeah, the other
I got this. What'd you get? Shit, I don't.
Russ, what did you find? Ken, you're donating. Hold on. Friends of ours are getting us thimbles of fucking whiskey to make sure we have it. Fucking, I was insane, but I'm really glad we were able to do the whole list and very rewarding. A lot of fun.
It was a ton of fun.
I hope the listeners enjoyed it as well. I mean,
and it was a really good. I mean, our store owners that helped us with this. I mean, you think of Justin from Allview.
Yep.
They got us the thimble of Peerless. Our friends, Ken, who's in charge of our whiskey group that we're in.
Yep. Mike at Drug City. Mike at Drug City pulled off a couple of miracles for me.
Ben at Mount Airy. Yeah. Susan at Total Discount with the Jack 10. At her store, it was they came through for us, and really
the Master Keep at suggested retail price.
Yeah,
which
for
was
sure.
Monster.
That was my boy at Rite Aid.
Yeah,
at my corporate account.
Yeah,
and I don't often, pat myself on the back or us on the back very much. I do it for the show, obviously, but in real life, I don't really do that. But when people actually turn up for us, it just makes me think of the regard they keep us in and how good we are at what we do and why I won't leave this job despite hating it
so
much. And we've cultivated some really fucking cool relationships
Oh, absolutely.
in this business.
Agreed.
And,
very much so.
and these people are awesome, and we've forged these relationships with these people because they're fucking awesome, and they help us, and we help them back, and they're great people.
Hell, friends
And we
of
appreciate you all so very much.
Russ helping us find the only store that had the Swedish whiskey because they bought all 10 cases that came to the Maryland market. Like
Yeah.
being able to find that, and finding it for me quickly enough that I walked in the door and bought the first bottle of it because the truck had just fucking delivered it. Like,
Yeah, and how fortunate we are to be in this business, to do what we do, and to, you know, be able to share this with everybody. I mean, if we didn't do this show, if we didn't have people that like to listen or watched or you know what now watch, you know, we would just be driving around in the car talking about it.
yep.
We'd be
exactly.
sitting on the back porch killing bottles and falling asleep in lawn chairs again.
Yep.
You know,
it'd be
and that'd
what,
be it.
It's
It would
what
just-
inspired us to do the
It
show.
would just kind of be sad.
Absolutely. So, and
But this makes it professional.
For the people that are our Patreon supporters, they're going to be fortunate enough to hang out with us on this back porch here, just outside the studio, and try all fucking 20 of them.
Yep.
So,
Maybe not the Peerless.
yeah, the Peerless we might not be able to get our hands on.
We're
but
working on
everything's-
getting a half bottle of it from
Right.
a friend of a friend of a friend.
right, but everything else, yeah, everything else. So. We also pay it forward to all of our the people that support the show as well.
Yeah,
It's-
100%. It's a great reason to support the show, to link these two sections together. If you live locally to us, you're part of the family then.
Yeah,
you know?
you're invited.
I mean, you're in.
And what else do we always have to do, Mr. Graham?
Remember to drink responsibly and not fall asleep on fucking lawn chairs.
There we go. But they're so fucking comfy.
I know, right? Especially after a bottle of whiskey. Well, our problem was always the ice issue. You get a glass, you get a bucket of ice, you get a bottle of whiskey. And sit down to shoot the shit. Put ice in the glass, pour whiskey in the glass. First one always goes down great. So you drink the whiskey. Oh, fuck, there's ice left.
Gotta have more whiskey.
Then you pour more whiskey in it. Well, then you get to talking and the ice melts. And you're like, fuck, I need more ice in my whiskey. Then the whiskey's gone again. Oh, shit, there's ice left. And it never evens out again.
Like hot dogs and hot dog buns.
That's it. Until you piss yourself.
No, until there's an empty bottle of whiskey and you're stumbling to bed is normally how it works. If you're going to use my bit, use it properly, stud.
Oh, that's pretty good.
All right. Three matches have multiple implications to both the title fight and the chase for Champions League. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 1, Arsenal 2, Leeds United 1, Manchester City 5, Newcastle 0. Reds drop 2 massive points at home.
So they looked quite leggy. This match was really strange for me. It was open, but still somehow cagey.
Right.
It was like every third or fourth pass, somebody went, "Oh shit, I need to be calm and collected and conservative here." But then everything else around it was helter-skelter.
Right.
So it was like it would fall to Fabinho after like 3 really poor touches from both sets of players.
And then suddenly he'd turn it back.
He would turn it back and roll it to Van Dijk, and then he's cool as a cucumber always, right? So then he calmly plays it out, and then it would fall to somebody like Luis Diaz, and he would just be like, a mile a minute.
Yeah.
And play a terrible ball, or, you know, have a poor touch or a shot that got fucked, or, you know, whatever. And it was really weird. But I think the pressure got to Liverpool. I think the what they expended in the Champions League in the midweek really affected them in this game, where Tottenham had all the time in the world to rest.
Yeah.
And Tottenham, we've seen under Conte, gets themselves up for these games.
Absolutely. And it was, looking back at the Champions League, Villarreal going up 2-0 made Liverpool have to expend a ton of energy to come back and win that. I don't think they were ready to expend, to be honest with you.
Absolutely not.
So
But they
everybody
needed it, and they did it.
But everybody looks at, like, extra time for City and City going out on that. Well, the City's also got a whole fucking second team they can play.
Right.
And
the drop off between Liverpool's first team and second team, minus like 2 players, is tremendous.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't recall. Did they end the game with Origi on the field?
No, they did not.
Well, if you need to go in a big game,
yeah, you need
fucking Batman back there. What are you doing?
You need fucking hat trick Rick. gotta get fucking hat trick Rick out there.
Call fucking Origi. He scores in every big game you need.
David hat trick Rick Origi. That's his name from now on.
Jesus, I don't get it.
But the key thing, Sam, is that you have to make sure from now on, whenever you're playing Liverpool, you got to get Jurgen on the blower and just find out what style would he like you to play? Because
I loved watching in real time the wheels turn.
Yeah.
And him going, well, I understand why they do it, but I really don't like it. And it's kind of anti-football, and but I understand why they do it because they're not as good as us, but they stuck to their task and they got a point. And you could just see the wheels turning in his head and him literally just driving his little tricycle around in fucking circles.
It's what I've often said about the German national team in World Cups. If you get right, because the German squad is so honed in and so focused.
Right.
If you go right out there at the minute the game starts and just go punch them right in the nose, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Their nose gets bloody. The eyes water up. They can't handle it. They can't handle when you don't do what they expect. And the same case here applies with Jurgen. He plays that, quote, heavy metal football. We're going to pressure the fuck out of you. Mm-hmm. Sorry. But other teams will then go back and say, okay, fine, we're going to get 10 behind the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas a team like, Everton, they're doing it just to try to fucking survive. A team like Tottenham's doing it because they're just waiting for their chance.
Right, because they have a great counterattack.
And those 3, when they go forward, you're fucked.
What a fucking...
You're fucked.
It was an excellent play. Mm-hmm. The build-up to that goal that ended with Son with a fucking tap-in. Easiest goal he'll ever score. It was a fantastic bit of football.
That's not normally what you see. You don't see Liverpool
so
give
happy
up that kind of goal.
They got it out of their system before Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. You don't normally see that kind of a goal scored on Liverpool. Even when Liverpool's
Absolutely
playing
not.
City,
Yeah.
City's got to earn the goal. That was a fucking tap-in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's...
they earned it with their lovely football down the field. They had a lot of Liverpool players at 6s and 7s
yes,
in that
but I'm talking about that specific finish. It's normally, it's in the 18, but it's, taking a decent shot. It's not just, I'm sliding the ball past as you all watch me slide the ball past. And that was very surprising.
I thought that goal, the Luis Diaz's goal as well, I thought that was goal-bound anyway, which is why he got credit for it. But I don't think Lloris would have had a chance at that, even despite the deflection.
No.
To be honest, that ball was fucking moving.
I want to keep talking about the other matches as well, and we have a ton to get to. Can Liverpool come back from this?
Not so. I have to do this coupled with City's performance because had the goal difference remained close, possible? Yes.
Cool. I don't have to ask that question because it's the second one here. City now have 3-point lead and goal difference of +4.
Right. So, but I can't answer the question about Liverpool without bringing that up is the problem.
Oh, it's perfectly fine.
If the goal difference was still 1 or 2, would it be possible? Entirely. Would it be likely? Fuck no. This, I think, personally, hands Manchester City the title.
Yeah.
This result.
Yeah.
Especially in the manner of City's win that extends that goal difference, as you say, to +4. Because if City do lose, which would then tie them on points, provided Liverpool win, City would only lose by 1.
Right. And City have Wolves, which, despite we'll get on to Wolves and how they did this weekend, they will likely beat Wolves pretty handedly.
For those of you that aren't subscribed to Patreon, that's where we do our fantasy chat.
Yeah.
And quick spoiler, Grammy here left 18 points on the bench in 2 leagues, 10 with Lukaku, 8 with Connor Cody.
Nice. Well done.
Fucking brilliant. So mad.
But the other thing, too, is then it's West Ham. So if there's a game they could possibly lose, City could lose, it could be West Ham because West Ham's playing for their European lives, right?
Yes.
So that could happen. But West Ham ain't beating them by 4 goals.
No,
West Ham
exactly.
beat them 2-1,
Well,
1-0.
yeah, but if they
maybe.
win 2-1, Liverpool win 3-0. That's possible. But Liverpool have so much to worry about.
Right.
Liverpool have 2 cup finals coming up.
Yep.
To make it a cup treble.
Right.
Which is not the treble.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely ain't a fucking quadruple.
Right. And then City has Villa, which, no offense to Villa, last game of the season, City winning that game. I mean,
I feel like, though, if it happens.
Right.
Well, Villa could do something to City. They work hard.
I wouldn't put it past us.
And you don't think Scousey Gerrard's going to stand up in that locker room and say, "We're delivering the title to my former team."
a
team that I could not win one with.
I would like to give you example A from last season, Everton Football Club, who had something to play for on the final week of the season against Manchester City. Manchester City had fuck all to play for. Everton had Europe to play for. They were in the hunt for Europe. Man City 5, Everton 0. So don't tell me they don't get up for that last fucking
I'm just
game.
saying they have a chance.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's a chance because Villa. It's not like Villa or fucking Watford. Villa have decent players.
Gunners keep it rolling, Sammy.
Fuck yeah, we do, baby.
Nketiah scoring for fun right now, man.
Well, the first one he was given by Meslier.
Yes.
That was terrible
Yeah,
goalkeeping.
very terrible.
Now, Eddie still had to be there, and he worked very hard to get there. It was well done. And stealing in front of him and tap that ball home. But the second goal was well earned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was fucking delightful. Now, it should have been like 6-7-0, and they had the chances for it to be 6-7-0.
Mm-hmm.
But Meslier got his shit together.
Yep.
Played very well. Had a couple of brilliant saves. I think it was Robin Koch that cleared the ball off the line after the kind of tip-up one-handed save.
The cock was forceful.
The Koch was stiff.
Very good.
And that was probably Arsenal's best chance to add to their lead. If they had gotten a third, I think Leeds would have folded and we would have won 5-7-0, somewhere in that sort of range. But the longer we went without scoring, the more confident Leeds grew, despite the red card to Luke Ayling, which is a shocking fucking tackle. They could have been down to 9 men with a different tackle. I forget who it was, as well. But from Rafinha dissenting the referee, I mean, he was going fucking off.
Yeah,
What the hell? I have no idea.
What the hell are you doing to something? I mean, come on. When the minute it happened, you were amazed that it wasn't straight red because Ayling checked all the boxes. Spikes up, check.
Off the ground,
check. Scissor kick, check.
It was like
violent, check. He did. I mean, if you want to break a leg, Luke Ayling did all the. I think, honestly, I think he wanted to. I think he was like, I'm gonna hurt a fucker. Like, honestly, it was like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Mm-hmm. When he go, no, it wasn't Brad Pitt. It was Brad Pitt because it's Tyler Durden. Spoiler alert. But he goes,
the movie came out 20 years ago. Don't worry about it.
When he says
they haven't seen it by now, fuck them.
When he beats the shit out of Jared Leto, and he goes, well, that was something, and he goes, I wanted to destroy something beautiful.
It was a shocking tackle. I couldn't believe it. From how steady he's been for Leeds over the last 2 seasons. I couldn't believe that he did that. Now, that being said, there's extra blood there, which I didn't realize.
Okay.
Eddie Nketiah obviously went to Leeds on loan was it last season or season before? I think it was last season.
No, it wasn't
season before. It was in the championship.
Yeah, it was in the championship.
So Eddie Nketiah was there on loan, scoring. He did the subdued celebration thing for the first goal. The second goal, he kind of celebrated. It was more subdued than usual, but
right.
He still celebrated. But Luke Ayling was released by Arsenal as an academy player.
Ooh.
And then went on, got picked up by a lower league team, went on to make 500 Football League appearances.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was just a bit frustrated.
Yeah.
And Gabriel Martinelli had been kind of getting the run on, was it not Firpo? Who's their right back?
Firpo.
No,
Firpo's
their
left back.
Yeah. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Getting the run down that right side, and I think Luke Ayling was like, yeah, I'm going to, same thing I used to do.
Yeah.
You're going to feel it. I'm going to fucking stop you.
Right.
Right? You're not going to do this dancing shit anymore.
Right.
I usually went about it a little bit more subtly, though,
Yeah.
than 2-footed in the corner by myself with no one around us.
Up, scissor kick.
I mean, that, honestly, that's the type of tackle that we used to get like in high school when you play like Suitland or Bladensburg, when you had people that didn't play the game. They didn't know like the structured game.
Right.
No fault of their own. This country's pay to play, right?
Right.
So that you would just find they would just only play at the park with their friends, or only play, and with their families, and whatever. And you get a lot of African and Spanish, like South American and Central American in those areas, and it's fucking La Plancha, man. That's just part of the fucking game. It's
get up, you'll be all right.
Yeah,
let's go.
Right. Nah, that's a fucking leg breaker. That's a career ender. I mean, if Gabriel Martinelli didn't kind of get out of the way of that, he could be on the sidelines for the next year.
Oh, God, yeah.
He could have had surgery that night on his leg.
Yeah,
but luckily
bad.
he was able to jump a bit and kind of take the pressure off of that hit. That was horrible.
Ironically, because the night before, Stuart Dallas had just completed 15 hours of surgery
for his leg. Yeah.
And now Leeds
and I feel bad for him too, because he's like 31.
We're going to get into the next segment when we talk about the bottom of the table, but I wanted to put Leeds up here because of the Arsenal tie-in. Leeds now finds themselves in the relegation zone without a guy like Stuart Dallas, who played every single game for him, and without a guy like Luke Ayling, because he's now straight
suspended
red
for the rest of the season.
He's done. His season is over. Like, that's a big kick in the pants for the kind of, the blood, sweat, and tears kind of guys of the team, the inspiration, the fight, which is you need fight more than skill. At when it's down to this part of the end of the season, all the skill in the world is great, but you need the grit, you need the determination, you need the willfulness, and Leeds now has lost two guys that exemplify that for their side. They have to be worried. Now, I don't know why Rafinha was going so nuts. That baffled me. Yeah.
I mean, he got the yellow very early on in his rant, and he went for like another 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't see a second yellow.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Lucky.
It was lucky because
Very
he was
lucky.
going off.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to be restrained by 3 of his own players.
Yeah, at some point you just gotta
let it go, man.
Walk away.
Just let it go.
Walk away.
Yeah, show him on the pitch.
You've gotten the yellow. You've gotten your point across. You're not changing his mind. It's not like he's suddenly going to go, you know what? All that yelling, it worked. I rescinded the red. Come back on the pitch. Sure thing.
Exactly.
No problem. I changed my mind. The video evidence.
Don't worry about it. Yeah,
we got this shit.
So they obviously scored. Diego Llorente scored. Like I said, with each passing moment that Arsenal didn't add to that lead, because they did score both goals with a full complement of 11 players for Leeds on the field,
and it was early. It was 2-0, 20 minutes in, right?
Like 18 minutes or something like that. Yeah. But the idea that they couldn't score galvanized the rest of that team, and every 10-man team gets that little foray that they have for,
of course,
11 minutes or so where they're kind of on top.
Yeah, it happens.
At some point. It happens to every single fucking team that gets a red. And they happen to score from it. They had a total of 3 shots on target. 2 of them were very tame and routine, and then the goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And really, Arsenal had fucking like 19 shots, 9 of which were on target. I mean, they did everything correctly. They just couldn't find the back of the net. And they dominated the rest of the game. I mean, Leeds didn't have a sniff except for that like little 10 to 12 minute period.
So we mentioned the teams 1 and 2 with Liverpool and City, and we're going to kind of blow through City honestly quickly because there's not a ton to say.
It's a fucking training game.
Yeah, right. But with Arsenal's win, securely in 4th place, it now comes down to this Thursday.
Not entirely.
North London Derby, Arsenal, Tottenham, for all the fucking marbles, essentially. It's real. I mean, I know not entirely, but really.
Well, if we lose, we still have a point lead.
Right.
United, with their result, which we'll come on to, obviously, are now out of 4th place contention.
Exactly.
Period. They're done.
It's
over. It's us and Spurs.
It's you and Spurs, and Chelsea could fuck
off third
off.
correctly. Yeah, correctly.
But By the way, Mark is watching online.
Good.
And he says he can't wait for Thursday.
Neither can I.
And you'll be taught a lesson for your cheating.
Fuck's sake.
Love it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, look, it's the one.
You know what? We've won the league there twice, and now we're going to secure 4th place there.
Sam, twice.
At minimum.
Twice a year, Mark takes all of his attention from slagging off me to fuck with you, and it's a North London Derby.
Yeah.
Because outside of that, he just, to me all the time, it's just, you shit. That's all it is to me all the time. I'll just put up anything, and it'll just be like, Everton shit. That's all it is every time.
You don't know anything, fat man.
Yeah, it's just all it is, all the time, constantly, nonstop. It's like, yeah, there's good old Mark just making me feel like a jack off. Now, if only Mark could figure out a mute button in a Zoom room whenever we do a show, it would be fucking great.
That'd be great, yeah.
Actually, he's a lot of the reason why when we do our 20 for 20 next year, we're going in reverse alphabetical order because I need to get him off the fucking conference call as fast as humanly fucking possible.
That's funny. But yeah, no, it's that game is going to be quite intense.
Oh, it's going to be great.
It's going to be like Sex in the Woods.
It's going to be great.
Fucking intense.
Fucking intense. Sir.
Okay.
You go, dad jokes.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Oh, I pulled my groin at soccer this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Last game of the season.
Right.
That tracks.
Nice.
Yeah, it was bad. Went straight down, and it was quite high up on my groin. So I stood up kind of rubbing that area, and our left back yelled up to me up front. And he was like, "You're fine. You already got 2 kids." So it wasn't my balls, dickhead.
My balls. The groin.
No,
Different spot.
It was my groin.
Different spot.
Fucking hell.
City dominate, but didn't we see this coming? We didn't have a chance to talk about the Champions League loss leading into this game. Somebody was going to get hurt real bad.
Yeah,
you knew this was going to be the kind of response you got from City.
If this was at Newcastle, I think there would have been a slightly better chance. But there was
3-0.
It was always going to be City. Yeah. And now Newcastle did cause a few problems here and there. But when you have Chris Wood on the end of those chances, probably not going to score them.
He already got his double-digit goals. He's done scoring for the season.
2 of these, though, were scored in stoppage time.
Yes.
2 minutes apart. So I think it went Sterling 2 times, Emerick Laporte, Rodri, De Bruyne, and Phil Foden. Excuse me, all got the goals. Grealish went close a couple times again.
Yeah.
Saint-Maximin, or one of the announcers saying, when he gets the ball, it's just absolute chaos, isn't it? He reminds me of a really fast Archie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Crazy Legs McGee.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
By the way, those 2 late goals is why I'm losing to the guy in last place that doesn't pay attention to his team because he has Laporte and Sterling on his team. It's the only reason why I'm losing right now in fantasy as well. Find out about that on injury time, too.
Yeah. But no, it eventually turned into a training game. Like I said, Newcastle held out well. Dubravka made some great saves, but City were on top for the entirety of the game. There was a couple of counterattacks here or there. Miguel Almirón, for everything that he's done well for the last 2 weeks, he kind of reverted back to his old self in this game and didn't really provide an outlet. No. It was all Saint-Maximin, and that was it. And then Jacob Murphy, when he came in, actually, I thought did very well to try to carve out a couple of opportunities. Callum Wilson came back from injury, which is good to see for Newcastle. But other than that,
a 5-0 loss is never good, but at least you saw effort out of Newcastle, which honestly, considering the new ownership, considering the investment that's already gone into the club, these boys know the rest of the way they got to play their asses off.
Oh, yeah, because
if you're going to lose 5-0, you better play real fucking well.
Of the Dubai time teams, as we like to call them, that 8th through 14th that have no chance to move up or go down, really.
Right.
Of the Dubai time teams, Newcastle are the ones that are going to be playing hard the entire season because their ownership has more money than God.
Yep.
And you can be replaced at the drop of a fucking hat. So you are literally playing to be part of this team next season.
Yeah, there's only 2 others that are playing with inspiration.
Besides Guimaraes and Kieran Trippier, the rest of that team, and maybe Saint-Maximin, even though he doesn't truly provide a ton,
right,
as we've seen this season when he's relied on by himself.
Right.
Maybe that'll change when there's another option. But those three players, I'd say, are the only three
The rest of the team's replaceable.
that are fucking guaranteed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they bought Chris Wood simply to take him away from a contending relegation zone team.
Correct.
They didn't buy him. They didn't buy him to score goals. They bought him so that the other team couldn't have him score goals for them.
Correct. And I'm sure he'll be mailed back to his parents in pieces, but allegedly.
Last question.
Oh, he's not a journo, so it won't matter.
Yeah,
It's fine.
heard. Do City have enough to hold on to the title?
Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that's it. They're not going to give up this new bright and shiny 4-goal goal differential
and
above Liverpool.
I also think going down the stretch, you're going to see both Liverpool and City winning games 3-4, 5-0. I think they're going to turn all because they know the goal differential is going to mean something.
And they, in recent memory, have won the league on goal differential.
And
with that Aguero goal against QPR late on, the very famous Martin Tyler commentary.
A lot of the schedule, Liverpool plays before City.
Yes.
So they tie them.
They'll know what they need to do.
They'll know what they need to do.
Which is a terrible situation for them to be in, to be honest.
Yeah. Agreed. More shakeup at the bottom of the table as relegation claims yet another victim. Everton 2, Leicester City 1, Aston Villa 3, Burnley 1, Crystal Palace 1, Watford 0.
Wait, did you mention Leicester and Everton?
I did right at the top.
Right. It's
Everton 2.
No, it's Everton fans too.
Yeah, yes, very much.
I just wanted to correct you there.
Right off the jump, Foxes actually deserved a point. The Foxes deserved a point in this match.
Yeah.
I think the reverse at Goodison, Everton deserved all 3 and only got a point. At the King Power, Leicester deserved a point, yet Everton got all 3.
Mm-hmm.
So the overall 4 points is what should have happened to Everton, but they just happened in the different stadiums because Pickford on his head made 3 brilliant fucking saves and also at the right fucking time too.
Yes.
That was the big thing because that was when Leicester could turn the screws of the game and the Everton defense looked a little weak. It looked a little out of sorts.
Yep.
And then Pickford comes up with monster saves.
Yeah, I mean, he really did stand on his head. You'd like him to be a bit more consistent doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You'd like him to kind of calm down a bit. Like I've said this about Ramsdale. I don't know what it is about young English talent, but from the Midlands and North.
Yeah.
But I don't quite get like celebrating while the play's still going on and
yeah,
absolutely just pelting your own players sometimes from Pickford, and it's just like that doesn't help anybody. Just calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
He was excellent. He was excellent. Mikalenko did a great job, obviously, scoring the first goal. And
I was about to say Vitali,
fucking awesome.
Especially considering the week before he missed the sitter against Chelsea. Then he just, don't mind me. Full volley, lower 90s. I got this
Don't
shit.
worry about it.
Boom, bullet.
Don't worry about it. So with his whole, obviously being Ukrainian and everything else, that made me want to cry seeing that. It was just, what a moment, right?
What a great goal.
What a fucking release. Great goal at that.
His first goal. A goal that then took you out of the relegation zone for the moment,
crazy. But then the other one that made me want to cry for no reason other than he looked like he was going to cry, and what it meant to him was Cucurella's goal in Brighton for Brighton.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I wanted to cry at that one because when he was celebrating in the corner, the camera was very close to him, and he had that kind of like. He looked like the protagonist in like a Spanish soap opera. It was brilliant.
A couple of concerns for Everton though into this match is Yerry Mina goes out with an injury.
Not great.
And a lot of the possible where the injury came from was the collision with Seamus Coleman that led to the Leicester goal to equalize.
Right.
Myalenko went out also, apparently cramping, so he'll be ready for Wednesday.
Okay.
But we don't know about Mina yet. Need fucking Mina.
You need Yerry Mina. Now, Wednesday's against Watford.
Yeah. And Keane...
I mean, you could play center back.
Keane
fine.
had a hell of a game when he came in on a moment's notice, and Keane has... he's played for England, for fuck's sake.
He's a good player.
But he's just had a very bad season.
Yes.
And it's what it is. But Richarlison, open header on a corner, Schmeichel makes the save. The problem is he puts it right to Mason Holgate.
Yes.
Mason Holgate, not on his team. Ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, exactly. And following that goal, we got to see a friend of ours on television.
Yes, we did. We're not going to let on too much
We're not getting
more.
into it. We just saw a friend of ours on television, and it was delightful to see her.
And they may or may not be.
Don't worry about it.
Troubles.
It's fine.
Troubles.
Everything's fine.
No flare. Not good.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that's. You know what? I don't even think it was her, to be honest.
Must not have been. Yeah.
A lot of white women look alike.
You said it, not me.
If only
That's why I said it.
If only there wasn't correspondence between them about exactly what happened. Anywho,
Hey, listen, the orange guy did it for a while. We could just deny.
Fake news.
What
Didn't happen.
that video looked doctored, even though it was live.
Definitely doctored. Everton
Mel's just
now.
shaking her head.
Everton now out of the drop and completely control their destiny. And their next match is their game in hand.
Well, the other thing,
at
too,
Watford.
the confidence of being the worst away team in the country, the confidence of picking up an away win against actually a pretty decent Leicester side is going to be huge going into the worst home team stadium in the country and picking up a second consecutive away win.
And if they get that win, a third straight win.
Especially when Roy Hodgson is catching so much flack.
Well, and Roy's come out and flat out said he isn't coming back to the club.
Do you know why he's catching so much flack?
Because he was all huggy with all the Crystal Palace players at the end of the game?
And didn't even acknowledge the Watford fans.
Oh.
They did it kind of a I mean, that's the way you walk out of Palace's stadium.
Right.
But they were all singing his name, and he was like, "Oh, thank you," recognizing what he did for them, and well done to them. With him retiring and stuff. But when asked about it, why didn't you go acknowledge your own fans at any point? He was like, kind of far away, weren't they?
Let's go ahead and skip.
That's what he said.
Let's skip to that one since you've already.
I'm looking at my notes, going, "Did we just fuck off Villa?"
We'll do that last. We'll
Okay,
make
good.
that the last game of the segment.
He said they were really far away.
A Zaha
I mean, he is
penalty.
like 73, but come on, man.
A Zaha penalty won the match that could have been 3 or 4-0.
Yes.
I
Easily
mean,
3 or 4-0.
y-
If not for Ben Foster.
what was it? One shot on target for
like that, yeah.
for Watford.
From 6 overall, yes. Compared to 7 on 15 from Palace.
Talk about going out with a fucking whimper. I mean, not even
and
fight.
then,
Not even fight.
Kamara
No
got
fight.
a red card.
Yeah, zero fight.
well.
No fight at all. None.
And the last
at least Kamara, you could go. Look, at least you were fucking
at
trying.
least you tried, yeah.
You know.
On the last sentence on my notes was nothing to say really. Going down without a whimper, and that's exactly what you said. It's we've seen it from Norwich twice since we've been doing the show, and now we've seen it from Watford this time. Where last time I think they actually picked up some points at the end of the season before they went down, but this one, and it really it's top to bottom. I mean. Roy's their third manager this season. 2 of the 3 managers were over 70 years old, in Ranieri and Roy Hodgson. Despite both being good, it came out that Ranieri would often forget their players' names. Roy Hodgson not acknowledging the fans after traveling, kind of across the city, pretty much. I mean, Watford's just outside of North London,
Right.
Kind of a suburby kind of area. But it's just there's just no joined up thinking. There's no cohesive plan or idea of what to
Well, yeah.
have some continuity.
Well, and here's
But
the
it's just how do you forget your own players' names? You see them every goddamn day. You spend 6 hours a day with them. How do you forget their names, Claudio? Roy, how do you not? I know you're 73 years old, 74 years old. Who gives a fuck? You walk 100 yards to go wave to your own people. At least walk halfway and wave to. They'll see you wave to them.
especially because they came to watch you go down.
Right.
They came to watch you go
It's
down.
just like, what's the point? I don't get it. The owners, it stems from the ownership.
Here's what I my final thing I wrote is finally admit to bad planning. The owners have finally come out publicly and have admitted that 17 managers in 10 years might not have been the best fucking planning.
Yeah, well,
Are you fucking kidding me?
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Chelsea can do that because they have the money to get the best, right?
Right.
You had Carlo Ancelotti started as an interim, right? When he went there, was an interim manager. Rafa Benitez was an interim manager. Philippe Scolari, very well respected in the game.
Who was the one who won on the Champions League? It wasn't Ancelotti.
Di Matteo?
Di Matteo, yep.
Was it,
it was
Roberto Di Matteo?
Yep, Roberto Di Matteo.
Widely regarded as a fantastic number 2.
Yeah.
Right? Never managed prior to that, but was regarded as a fantastic number 2. And he was an interim coach. They have the money to do it. Now they have Tuchel. They've had Ranieri himself in his pomp earlier when they first started to get their money and everything else. Back when he was regarded as the Tinker Man. Always tweaking a team or changing 2 players here and there, game to game. Watford don't have that cash.
No, they don't.
They don't have that cash. So they're ending up with up-and-comers like Marco Silva. They're ending up with up-and-comers like, or people at the tail end of their career like Claudio Ranieri, who can't remember people's names, or Roy Hodgson, who can't even go acknowledge his own fans. Yeah. And you reap what you sow, and they farmed bullshit.
Yeah. No, it's what they deserve. And
that's why Mel doesn't play the island game anymore.
I'm not keen on this. Look,
it's farming bullshit.
I'm more keen.
How many strawberries do you need? God damn it!
I'm more keen on Norwich coming right back up than I am on Watford.
Absolutely.
I think Watford's.
I think
trouble.
Emmanuel Dennis ends up somewhere. I think Ismail Sarr goes, "Fuck you! I went down last time with you. I'm not doing this again."
Yeah, no,
and he ends up somewhere.
Yeah,
and
very much
when
agree.
that happens, Josh King's not firing him back into the Premier League.
No, not at all. They'll be able to hold on to Yao Pedro, but for how long?
Because he's young.
Because if Yao Pedro goes and scores 25-30 in the championship, he ain't staying there next season if you don't get a promotion.
No.
I know the stats would say otherwise, that it looked like a fairly even game, but Villa dominated, man.
Yeah, it was. That's funny. Simpatico. Stats-wise, it was fairly even, but Burnley seemed to have used up all their goals in the last 4 games and allowed Villa to get out of their funk.
Here's the biggest thing I noticed. Leeds, when they played City, it was insanity. Complete, just unbridled craziness at Ellen Road. Everton supporters were out singing all of the King Power for the bulk of a fucking game.
Yeah.
They were in the stadium for 30 minutes after the match just singing Spirit of the Blues over and over again.
Yeah.
Turf Moor was like, all right, well, we've been here before. Oh, shit, we're down 1-0.
Yeah, but it's the quiet.
Shit, we're down 2-0.
But it's the quiet ones that like shoot up the school and shit. So I'd still be nervous about it, especially if I was a Leeds fan with the injuries and suspensions.
Yeah.
I'd be weary of the quiet ones.
They have the toughest run now. But if you look at the teams, they have the toughest run.
Who, Leeds?
No, Burnley.
Burnley do.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. I'd like Leeds to stay up.
Tottenham, go to Villa, who just kicked the shit out of you, and then you have to play Newcastle at Newcastle, and Newcastle gives a shit.
Yeah. I know everybody hates Leeds, and I get that. I hate Leeds too. But at the same time, American coach still getting shit. I think it was Carlton Cole or somebody. I can't remember who it was on the BBC coverage.
Yeah.
Brought out the Ted Lasso jokes again.
Right.
After that defeat to us.
Right.
It's like the trope's done, bro. The new manager bump came a little too early.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
He's had to deal with some injuries. He's had a tough run of games, and you're still doing this. But
and Bielsa ball is why they're minus 31 goal differential.
Exactly.
You can't make that shit. You can't make that shit up. But I do feel a little more bullish on Leeds getting a point in the last 3 than I do Burnley.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. I do I'm actively rooting for Burnley to go down, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's Burnley had a good
and
charge.
Really, again, I don't like Leeds.
Yeah.
I really don't like Burnley either, but Leeds have an American coach, and I'm kind of sick of I want to see him do well, because I'm kind of sick of the fucking Ted Lasso bullshit.
Burnley
With disrespecting this man who's just trying to do his goddamn job.
Right. Fucking stop it. Just let him do his fucking job.
Just let him do his job.
And
it's atrocious.
And the players have responded to him too, which is
100%.
Like,
they look like they're bought in.
Right.
So much so that Luke Ayling decided to try to kill somebody on Arsenal's team.
And Rafinha decided to try to get himself a second yellow card for screaming for 10 minutes after the fact. Oh, that's right. We didn't let Mel talk about her team at all.
I'm looking at my script and I'm like, all right, Everton Leeds, and then Crystal Watford, and then back to Everton Leeds, and I'm sitting here going, hi, we helped you out.
We're at an hour already.
Yeah, but Villa were very good in the game. Danny Ings had a great finish.
I'm just looking at my script going, all right, we helped keep you up, so you're welcome.
Yeah, well,
The job's not done yet.
the job's not done yet.
You have to beat Burnley again.
We've done our part.
You have to beat Burnley again.
No, it doesn't matter what they do to Burnley. We win the next two, and we're safe.
Yeah.
Okay. You need
I
to
know.
beat Burnley.
We'll beat Burnley again. Don't worry.
All right. Look, it's a No More Lort Monday. Fuck off. Everybody, be happy.
Fair enough.
And
I don't
Taylor
think that's how the song goes.
Taylor was very
Fuck
happy.
off, be happy. I don't think that's it.
That is not a show title.
That is absolutely a show title.
I don't think that's how the song goes.
Brilliant. Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Brentford 3, Southampton 0, Chelsea 2, Wolverhampton 2.
It shouldn't be in this section.
Brighton, no, it shouldn't be. And this one, Brighton 4, Manchester United 0, shouldn't be in this section.
Ray's happy about it.
West Ham 4, Norwich 0. But honestly, the storylines were the top and the bottom of the table.
I know.
Despite the fact that there was some pretty fucking great games mixed in.
If this was in like week 16, we'd be opening with Chelsea, Wolves, and Manchester United, Brighton.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Let's kind of make this quick just because, like I said, we're already damn near close to an hour as it is. Great finish for the Bees. They're on a great run of form. I don't think the Bees are gonna be exactly ready for this weekend when they show up to Goodison and there's flares everywhere and the building's shaking. Like they like to play aggressive football. I think they're just gonna go, what the fuck?
They're
is
walking
this
into a
place?
situation that we walked into at their stadium the first game of the season.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah,
and they're not going to be able to handle it.
No,
I don't think.
Especially if that guarantees security for Everton. Oh my God, Goodison's going to be insane.
Oh, pumping. Yeah,
it's going to
absolutely.
be insane. The Saints are probably safe. 95% they're safe. They can be caught still by Leeds, by Burnley, and by Everton. And they're on minus fucking 20 goals, and they still have Liverpool to play.
Yes.
They need to be I don't see them winning another match this season.
I would venture to say
hope.
no, but what they need to do is not fucking ship goals left and right. If they lose the next 3 games 3-0, that's a problem.
I think they're the 17th place team at the end of the season.
Yeah, I wouldn't be terribly surprised.
Like, not good, man.
No.
Like, it's
not good.
That game is the prime example of the, okay,
I think
we're
see
here to play
Hasenhüttl-
till we get scored on, and then we don't care.
I think you see Hasenhüttl go.
I would not be surprised by that. I'm not keen on their future for next season at all.
No.
Not one bit. Rom gets a brace, and it means fuck all because Chelsea fuck off the game in front of their new ownership.
Well, it's a tale of two halves, really, in this game. I mean, Chelsea dominated the fucking game in the first half, but they couldn't score.
Right.
They couldn't finish. You bring on Lukaku. He gets 2 decent goals, to be fair, especially for somebody.
Rom started.
Oh, he did start. You're right. Well, he comes out in the second half then. Fine.
Right.
Change one word, change the whole meaning of the sentence.
There you go.
And gets 2 pretty bullish goals. I mean, they were good finishes. Chelsea also had 3 goals disallowed in this game?
Yeah.
And rightly so, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
they actually,
yeah.
for once, did their jobs at VAR. But I think, I don't know what it is about them. I don't know if it's Rudiger signed a deal already with Real Madrid, doesn't care. I don't know what, because I don't think Wolves necessarily deserved their goals based on the run of play throughout the game. But they did grow in a bit of confidence in that second half. And once they got the first one, you kind of felt the second one was coming.
Oh, Connor Cody right at the end, of course. Of course.
Yeah, he's also right at the end of my fucking bench in my fantasy team.
right here on Prediction Time. I'm telling you right now, Leeds are going to beat Chelsea at Ellen Road, and you are going to finish in third place.
I like the sound of that.
It is going to happen because we've already seen what Chelsea did in a crazy building at Goodison. Goodison's nice. Ellen Road's not nice.
No.
Ellen Road threw trash at Manchester City for 90 fucking minutes. But what do you think they're going to do with their backs against the wall against a horrible rival? A horrible, like, people don't know this. Chelsea and Leeds
have a really weird
big fucking rivalry.
Yeah.
Big fucking rivalry.
But what I don't know. I just with the injuries and suspensions to Leeds, I get very, very nervous for their back line.
Fair enough.
That's really the concern, which is why I stayed away from that game in my bet.
I did not. Well, then, of course, I'm also losing, so I have to swing for the fences as well. United are a fucking embarrassment, man. They're a fucking embarrassment.
So, for the first time in a Premier League era, they could finish with a negative goal difference.
Yeah, they could. They're at what, a -1 right now or +1 right now?
Something like that. Yeah,
it's horrid.
Look it up real quick. But
trust me, West Ham can and will pass them. I'm actively rooting now for United to be in the McRib Cup. I desperately want them to be in the McRib Cup.
Absolutely. I also very much enjoy Ten Hag in a hat.
Yeah.
So I want to see his bald head in a hat when he has to play in the Arctic Circle.
Very good.
They have a goal difference of 1. +1.
Yeah. West Ham has a +11.
Wolves have a +1. Give you some other ideas. Crystal Palace +4. Villa are even with the board. That's hard to do. Brentford -8. Arsenal +14. Tottenham +20. Chelsea +39. The top two there, +68 for City, +64 for Liverpool. Manchester fucking United are at 1. +1. It's just atrocious.
So we were talking about Newcastle caring about the rest of the season. Brighton's got a shot at top 10. I guarantee you Brighton plays every single game for the rest of the season. Tough as hell.
It'll be their highest finish ever. Yeah. It'll be their highest finish ever. Of course they will. 100%. And like I said, it was Manchester United just a circus, just in general. But Brighton finally, you got that team smelling the blood in the water and then delivering, which they haven't done all the time.
Yeah.
And Cucurella, who we've glowing reviews from us week in, week out on this show, finally gets a goal. And like I said earlier, I mean, he looked at the camera like he was going to fucking cry. And it was delightful. I loved every second of it. It was like watching a Lifetime movie play out in real life. It was awesome. Yeah.
Final match. This was a much needed win for the Irons, especially considering how they went out in Europa. They're still in control of their own destiny for McRib, at least, but Europa's still in sights. They could pass United.
Yes, they absolutely could, especially with the better goal difference. But I mean, honestly, it was a training game. Norwich didn't even try, really. But what the perfect tonic after getting knocked out of the cup, Europa League Cup, what the perfect tonic was to be able to pick yourself up after such disappointment and play Norwich.
Yeah, it was funny.
Norwich didn't even fucking try.
No.
It was pitiful. It was absolutely fucking pitiful.
They're done.
West Ham they were literally just having their way with them.
What is it, senioritis?
Something, yeah.
Yeah, they're mentally checked out. They're already
just
looking
don't
at
care.
Championship League or a Champions League.
They just don't fucking care.
No.
Yeah, it was. What are you gonna do? What I mean, it's just at this point, it's just free points.
Well, that's the fun
for
part
whoever
about
plays them.
This part of the season is you've got the teams that are playing for something, you got the teams that are just fucking off.
Well, of course.
And then you got the ones that want to fuck off and try to ruin things for other teams. It's kind of fun these last few games.
Yeah, it also makes it terribly difficult to predict anything. But West Ham,
anything's possible.
But in their chase for at least the McRib Trophy, West Ham have found themselves in a position here where they come back, get a little confidence. They've been kind of short on goals in the Premier League the last about month. And now they've, put 4 past Norwich. What a great, perfect day out training game to get yourself some confidence going into those final 3.
See your way through.
Exactly.
By the way, producer Mel, great stall tactic while I went to go pee. Now we're just going to pause the show so you can go pee.
I do have to so bad. Hold on, I've got a video.
There's
thing
a screen for that.
I know. I have to find it.
This is fun for everybody.
There you go. It's muted.
All right, we'll come into Shore Money.
Shore Money.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Drunkard United Football Show. This is Shore Money, where we place bets to make sure that you are better informed in placing your bets. And this week it actually was coming from this side of the motherfucking table.
Hey, how about that?
I am now up in the positive 447 schmackaroonies.
Holy shit, I think you've passed Pat.
I might have. And since we have to go very quickly through this bit because of time, I'm just going to give you mine now and
go right
get
ahead.
it over with. Okay? So this week I chose some very sensible shit, even if it is still a 4-game parlay. You're starting to get the irony, ladies and gents. Leicester over Norwich, right? This will also solidify my position. Leicester over Norwich should be simple. Everton over Watford, also pretty simple in my opinion.
Fuck you.
City over Wolves, duh. And then Tottenham to beat Burnley, all for a very cool $326. And I think I'll probably just pick a first goal scorer for the last 2 weeks and win
I heard. Okay.
the whole league.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
You for the Dort Spirek couple losers because you played with 10 men for 70 fucking minutes and couldn't manage to get over 4 goals total. So thanks. You can only score 2 goals on a side that doesn't defend with only 10 men is what I wrote for the Dort Spirek couple losers, which is, tell me where the statement's false. Just not. It's not. It's very true.
Well, it's basically because their coach is not Ted Lasso.
All right.
That's
well, I am now down $495.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
doubled you up.
No, only I was at $395. Now I'm at $495. But
Yeah, but I
you
got
doubled me.
doubled
That's
you up.
true.
That's brilliant.
23.68421% of the time. It works 100% of the time. 2 bets for me this week. I'm going to take a midweek and a weekend. For the midweek, Leeds to beat Chelsea at 410.
All right. That's
Chelsea-
it. That's it. Those are short odds for
Yeah.
that, to be honest.
Chelsea fucking folded at Everton. How do you think they're going to handle the fucking riot zone that Ellen Road is going to be?
Yeah.
They're not going to handle it.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair, to be honest.
And then on the weekend, I am taking a 4-leg same game parlay.
Oh, fucking hell.
City to beat West Ham and Liverpool to beat Southampton, both over 3.5 goals total. I see a 3-1 in that City West Ham match, and I definitely see Liverpool scoring more than 4 goals against Southampton. If they both hit, yours truly will win $697. So I have a chance at winning $1,027 this week.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it'd be ahead of you.
Ain't gonna happen.
Be ahead of you.
Do you know what my mom told him yesterday when we were at the horse track?
What's that?
Not good gambling.
Won $150.
Terrible with money.
Jan sucked all day until the end because she liked the 5 horse.
She bet the 5 horse in every race.
I like that number.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one's name.
So does she.
No, I didn't. In fact, that was the race that I didn't bet the 5, where all 3 of us would have had all the money.
Yep, exactly.
All right, cool. So Pat is on the line.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Hey, buddy, you're sober, right?
I am sober this week.
Good.
How's
So
it go?
we can get through pretty quickly then.
I'm sorry, last week was gold. It only took 4 takes. but it was fucking gold.
How's it going?
Not bad. How are you?
Well, not too bad. Just watching the Caps game.
There you go. They winning?
1-1. I heard my son running around upstairs, so something either good happened or something really bad happened. I can't tell.
All right. Sounds good. So what you got?
Yeah,
or what happened to you last week?
What happened? Oh, I'm 0-11. What do you think happened? I took Manchester United. You know.
He took Manchester United because we just told him to take it. He was like, well, what should I take?
I just wanted to hear him say it out loud.
Yeah. So statistically speaking, this can't keep happening to me every week. So I am going to use those statistics hopefully in my favor this week. I'm going to take a 3-game parlay on Sunday, and I am taking all favorites. So I'm going to risk all the money that I have left. So you are right. Sam is ahead of me. I got 392 in my account. And I think you said you have low 400s or something, right?
447. That'd be the mid 400s there, sir. Okay.
Mid 400. All right. So first, I'm going to take Tottenham over Burnley at -300. Manchester City over West Ham at -240, and Wolverhampton over Norwich at -205. On 392, that should pay me 709. So I will be up over $1,000.
Okay.
There we are.
So, or I will be back down to complete zero, where I started the year at. Which I think we know where I think we know where this is going, right?
Oh, it's zero.
For sure.
It's definitely 0.
100%.
It's 0 for 12. That's coming.
And it's going to be Tottenham. I mean, it's going to be 0-12 the first game, and my parlay will be dead by 9:00 in the morning, I think, on Sunday.
Definitely.
Yep.
So,
sounds about right.
yeah.
I would not. I wouldn't be terribly disappointed in that, to be honest.
Oh, I know you wouldn't. Oh, and then to end it off would be on Thursday. Tottenham, of course, is going to lose to Arsenal. So then there goes that dollar that you owe me.
A cool, crisp dollar.
I told you I want it laundered, baby.
Yeah. Well,
iron that motherfucker.
Hey, you know what? If you lose, you better iron that dollar as well for him.
I'm not doing
spray
that.
starch. Make it nice and stiff.
I'm
Perfect.
ripping it and duct taping it back together.
Yes, I like extra starch on my dry cleaning.
We've built this up so much, it's going to be a 1-1 draw, and it's just going to this whole bit for the last 6 months is going to fall flat on its face.
Actually, if it ends in a 1-1 draw, I'm going to go get 2 50-cent pieces. And I'm going to do how you used to do the bottle cap thing. You put the cap in your hand and shoot. I'm going to go ahead and take a 50-cent piece at the same time in both arms, have you on one side and Pat on the other, and go bop, right in your heads.
Can't wait. All right, buddy. Well, thanks very much. I appreciate it.
All right. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Yes, sir. We'll holler at you later.
All right, brother.
That's it.
Not a bad segment.
No, it's pretty good, I thought.
Last week was horrid.
We were all kind of drunk.
You know what's going to make it better? Fucking chicken.
So, Kitty missed with Chelsea and sits at 18 and 13.
Can't do that pat roll. Chelsea gonna fuck you, man.
Yep.
No, I reminded her of that this week. So Rita called me up to the coop to join on a Zoom call with Kitty.
Oh shit, that's nice.
Kitty's back in London.
How big is Rita's computer? Is it a big? I mean, it's got to be a little tiny for a chicken. Right?
When you go up there and you put your head in the door, if you look up, there's a whole wall-to-wall TV screen, and they finally do have Roku. We might get some trouble because I'm pretty sure Penelope stole our Netflix password.
Oh shit! Yeah, not good.
So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that one. But they called me up there for a Zoom call, and Kitty looks good. She's in London and doing some consulting work with Idris Elba. Yeah, he's working on a passion project.
Oh, good for him.
Now, Kitty also mentioned she'll be joining Idris as his date on the road at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and St. James Park for this week.
Looking good for you, Mr. Graham.
She's both Arsenal matches, and we all know that Idris loves his Gunners, and so does Kitty, because she's picking them to win both. away matches.
Kitty picks winners.
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
I think
it's gotta
maybe
be good
Kitty
for
misses you. When
know
are we
who else?
expecting her back? End of the season?
And I'm hearing like early June, so when we're on our sabbatical, she'll be coming back around.
I hope so. Maybe she'll come to Baltimore with us when Everton takes on Arsenal.
Ooh, perhaps.
I wouldn't be surprised. But you know what also doesn't surprise me?
What's that?
People
That-
stealing Netflix passwords like Carly's grandma
Yeah.
and
yeah.
your chicken.
Yeah, that too.
It happened to me the other day.
That too. And it still surprises me that every week I need to remind people to gamble legally and responsibly.
Championship corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh, no.
This will be a short segment.
Yeah, so there was actually a little bit of shit that happened on the last day that could have seen a couple teams flip-flop and change the playoff picture, but it ended up not happening.
Right.
So no big deal. Your 2021-2022 season playoff contenders, okay, are going to be Luton Town playing Huddersfield. Huddersfield grabbing the third spot, Luton Town being in sixth. Forest at playing Sheffield United.
Forest fell to fourth. They were in third.
Yes, they did. Plus 33 goal differential with 80 points on the board. Huddersfield is 82 with a plus 17. Middlesbrough just misses out, 5 points back from Luton. Luton has a squad price of 1.5 million pounds.
Oh yeah, we're rooting for Luton.
Yeah, Luton all the way. Forest, I wouldn't. They've been going for a long time.
Right.
I'd like to see
Forest or
back up
Luton.
as well.
It's Forest or Luton.
For
Definitely.
me, yeah, absolutely. I just hope both of them come through, and then I have a very joyous playoff final where I don't have to worry about anything.
Right.
They just
be
play each
happy.
other and just
be
happy to be watching the game.
Whoever
Yeah.
wins, wins. Another very safe, secure thing to mention as well. Millwall managed to fuck off. Didn't even make it to the playoffs, so they are safely in the championship where they fucking belong.
But Millwall and Blackburn did both have an interesting thing that they accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
They both finished on 69 points. Draw a heart around it.
Heard. Very good.
Brilliant. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun this final playoff.
Playoffs start this weekend, right?
Yes,
Friday,
they do.
Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
What we do have though too is Fulham. I just want to mention this because it's absolutely absurd. Goals for 106,
Jesus,
and 40 odd of them were Alexander Mitrovic.
that's
He grabbed
man-
he grabbed the scoring record last weekend. We talked about it for single season championship goals, but he scored about 40% of their league goals.
Yeah, that's Man City the year they had over 100 points to win the league. Like, wow,
Yeah.
they dominated.
It's fucking wild. Only 43 goals against, so they were plus 63, which is almost double the next two teams closest to them. There's almost double. There's a plus 35 for Bournemouth and a plus 33 for Forest. But they were plus 63 on the goal differential. And it's not, it's fucking insane.
By the way, Mel, you'll be very happy to know this. The Premier League is about to get a lot prettier next season as Dean Smith and, Roy the boy is not even going to be managing the team, go down.
Tell me Scott Parker's coming back up.
Scotty Parker at Bournemouth and Marco Silva, former Everton manager, now Fulham manager.
I mean,
come up.
Arteta and Stevie G were doing a pretty good job holding up the hotness scale, but
League just got a lot hotter. Just got a lot hotter.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my maturing, but managers hotter than players.
Heard.
Yeah.
That's a bold statement.
I want an experienced guy to manage me around. Oh shit, that's injury time talk. Let me go back to mute.
I was going to say, I've pegged you for
Injury time. We're exiting this conversation.
for a Jody girl.
Heard.
I had you look at a Grealish just going, you're an idiot, but you're so pretty.
She does like them. She does like them dumb and pretty.
We'll have an off mic conversation about my latest pretty dumb.
That's gonna wrap it up, boys and girls. Sammy, any parting words?
Wow, that was aggressive.
Yeah.
No.
Show's gone aggressively long.
Jesus Christ. No.
Actually, it's shorter than it's been recently.
Yeah. Since we didn't talk about Villa. It was... No, actually, nobody was particularly twatty this weekend.
Besides, more
Swords?
Yeah. Yeah, Swords.
I can't let that go.
There's
What's
a show
that?
title, Swords. More mute button is a good thing.
Is a pretty good one. I don't know. No, nobody was particularly assholey.
Watch all the playoff games that are coming up in the lower leagues.
There's some of the best games that you'll ever watch.
A lot of
because
fun.
it means so much to these clubs, especially a club that's in financial, not necessarily in a bad way because they do well with what they have. They manage themselves very well, but it would mean so much to Luton to come up.
Yeah, well, even like
it would
things
mean
like
so much to Luton to come up.
The League 2 and the League 1 playoffs, it might not necessarily be the best football, but the games you can't deny
are spectacles.
They're so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
And those finals are always played at Wembley, which are always a big fucking deal.
The semifinals and the finals are all played at Wembley.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So
it's
a lot of fun to check out.
Yep.
All right. So thank you very much for joining us, boys and girls. Next up is Injury Time, where we're going to talk about the beers we've been drinking. We're going to check in on our adopted clubs, even though most of their seasons are done. So we're going to talk a little bit about League 1 and League 2.
Yes, we
and
will.
Those playoffs. Should somebody want to find it, Sam, how do they go about doing that?
If you want to find out the drama that happened in League 2 specifically, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/DUFootballShow and sign up to our $1 tier, where you will get both Sound Check, which is our actual sound check, just shooting a shit, catching up over the weekend, and Injury Time, which is our preview show, talking about our adopted clubs, as Sam said, our beers that we've had throughout the show, our old side pieces here that, we frankly can't find time for.
Mm-hmm.
It is so much fun. And also, it's kind of like Dr. Drew sometimes.
Yeah, very much so. And check out the Drip Shack. Get a Bance pillow or Bance pillow. Get a Pro Arsenal Agenda shirt. I got to remember my left and right when I'm looking at a camera. Till next week, everybody.
Guten Nacht, Jürgen.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!